wide peaceful protest. For state, some of una things they wanna not satisfy with, especially with the implementation of the tripartite recommendation in that of the agreement for national unity. This now one way the SLPPC then self don't get a position for respond to this call una make say una they pull una people in a state on a peaceful protest. Waiting now on a strategy, waiting really una want achieve bringing out your people.
Well, Khadija and Mabel, earlier on, I mentioned say dialogue. And Mabel say, but we don't get dialogue before.
All right, guys. So this is what is going on. This is what is going on in Sierra Leone. And whilst this is going on, I think the whole thing is Julius Maada BO is now running away, because he knows that the members of parliament at least have, as you can see on his Twitter, the opposition in Sierra Leone have decided to finally, grow some wings and say they will organize a protest. But I can tell you that I don't believe the opposition would go through with the protest. They are just bluffing, and I can guarantee you that the SLPP is going to emerge. And the SLPP, for the past 7 years, of course, they've gotten away with everything. So they're going to get away with this again this time. I can guarantee that. So I know that for sure. Okay. But let's see how it plays out. They might prove me wrong. And if they do prove me wrong, then, it is what it is at that point, right? But as it is right now in Sierra Leone, Julius Maada basically is running away. So, on his Twitter page here, as you can see, this is what he posted, and let's see what he got going on. It says, let's see this. I'm going to put this on the bigger screen for you guys so you can see what it is. It said, I have arrived safely in Miami, United States of America, to participate in the 4th FII Priority Summit, held under the theme Capital in Motion and organized by the Future Investment Initiative Institute, FII Institute. As the summit brings together thought leaders, investors, and policymakers, I look forward to contributing my perspectives on how African leaders can harness strategic investments in agriculture and education. The same old stories for the past 7 years. No progress in agriculture, no progress in education. Same thing, stagnated growth. But this guy keeps traveling. So again, like I'm saying, basically the only reason why Maada BO, has traveled currently is because he's running away from the fact that the opposition, the APC party, have decided to organize a protest. I really have not been following these guys, so please, somebody, you can tell me in the comment section, what if they have a date for this protest, because I've really not, kept up with the opposition, because I'm not taking them any seriously. For you guys that have followed me for years, you know that there's no way we can take these guys seriously because they've never been serious anyways. But of course, right now they're threatening a protest. So Julius Maada BO has decided to run away, like he has run away for all the other protests in that country. Because I don't know if he feels like when these protests occur in Sierra Leone and people get killed, I think he believes that him being away gives him immunity from further prosecutions, right? So maybe he thinks he can play the card of, I was not even in Sierra Leone at the time. I was attending a conference, so I don't know what happened. But, my ministers and police and security forces did what they had to do, but I wasn't even in the country at the time. So maybe that is Julius Maada BO's position. But again, he has run away. This is just him running away because the APC has threatened a protest, as you heard from, when I opened up the live. But this is what I want to point out to you guys. Because this summit that Julius Maada BO has decided to attend, I'm going to show you that it's one of those, summits where you even have to pay for it. It's not like it was a, specially invited and this and that, blah, blah, blah. It's a membership thing. And only members are invited. It's not open to the public. And I'm going to share that with you guys so you guys can see that, when people like myself come out here and talk, we are basing it off of, what we know and the reality of what we see. So this is it right here. This is, the summit. FII Institute's web page. This is what it looks like. If you go through their web page, this is what it looks like. And when I'm telling you that, as far as membership dues, this is not an event that is open to the general public. And I can prove that right here for you guys, so you guys can see. This is just Julius Maada running away again, because of course the opposition has decided to call for, a protest. So I'll prove that to you, and I'll let you, see this, right here, so you guys can believe what I'm saying, so you know that I'm not making stuff up. This is just a simple Google search, okay? It's not like it's a big deal, all right? When I saw his post on Twitter, I decided to go and look at it. So the Future Investment Initiative Conference, this was actually like 2023 Riyadh. And I'm just giving you the backdrop so you have the historical context. This time it's in Miami in 2026, Miami in the United States of America, Florida. But this was just back in 2023. So I can only imagine how expensive it is now. But this was the Future Investment Initiative Conference in Riyadh, often called Davos in the desert. It's an exclusive event for leaders and investors, with previous reports indicating tickets prices around $15,000. Attendance is generally subject to registration, approval, and membership through the FII Institute. So you have to be a member, rather than open public ticket sales. So it's not open to the public for sure. So I know that for sure, event, the 9th edition, this was last year in Riyadh, but 2026, it's in Miami, and there's this publication also back in 2023 from Business Insider, that I want you guys to see. And it says, so many people want to attend a Middle East investment conference dubbed Davos in the desert that they're charging $15,000 to get in the door. All right. So I want to share that with you so you all know that when I say Julius Maada is basically just running away, because of course this is a fine opportunity that the APC is planning a protest. And the thing is this, I'm not even going to talk about the protest or tell people to protest or not protest, because for 7 years the APC failed Sierra Leoneans. And I can guarantee you up until today there are Sierra Leoneans in prisons across that country locked up. Some have been dead, and there's been no account of those people. They killed some of them, sent them to prisons up country in the southeastern part of the country, just distributed all of these people across the country, all because they stood up to stand up to the dictatorship of Julius Maada. So that is something that we know, and that is a reality of what is actually happening in Sierra Leone. So we saw the APC systematically fail to act, because again, as opposition, regardless of the people coming out to protest, even though you were not the ones who organized the protest, as an opposition in a nation, when you have a despotic government that is going to kill its citizens, you have a responsibility to protect them. So the APC has always failed its people. So, this time that they're calling for a protest, if you guys see, I'm not even getting into what is actually happening, with the politics in Sierra Leone as much lately, right? I just kind of mind my business because I've been doing all the talking. There's nothing going on right now that I have not talked about over the past 5 to 7 years. So it is the same story again and again. But I just want to share this with you guys so you can see this publication and know that Julius Maada, probably, I don't know again for this year if it's 15,000 to attend this event in Miami, because last year it was in Riyadh, but this year it's in Miami in the United States of America. But last year it was $15,000. And if you know anything about these events, especially when it's paid and more people want to attend, they might up the price, so that's what Julius Maada may be paying, to attend this event in Davos, just because he wants to run away. All right. And as you can see, this is the event right here, at Fahena Hotel, Miami Beach, March 25th to the 27th. So it started today till the 27th. Today would be for those summits, all the summits that I've been a part of, organized and planned and everything. Today's like more so registration, familiarization, guests, probably a guest speaker comes and open up the event. So, but today's the start of the summit for 3 days. It's FII, again, Priority Summit, Miami 2026. If we play this YouTube video, if it has sound, Is it playing? I guess the video doesn't play, but that's cool. Okay, I think it's probably the event is done because this is like a live. I guess this is like a live, a feed. If they were on live or something like that, so that's why it's probably not playing live in 14 hours, March 26th at 8:30. Yep, it's right there. So about 8:30, tomorrow this feed will be live, and what I'll do for you guys is I'll copy this link and put it on the in the comment section here. Maybe you guys will be able to, because of course I would not have the time to follow it live, but it's in the comment section if you want to see it. But this is the event is going to be, and it would be live probably, and you can see him there. But of course, he's going to take pictures and videos. But I'm just saying, Julius Maada basically is running away, because the APC, the opposition, has called for a protest. That is what I really wanted to share with you guys, so you guys can see that. Okay, all right. But now let me go to really what I want to talk about. On this this live. Really, what I want to talk about, I missed the distraction because, if anything, these guys are really distracting us from the reality of what is actually happening. But what I want to do is, whilst they're trying to distract us, I want to call the attention of Sierra Leoneans to understand what is actually happening. And, we have the archives, and I'm going to bring that up so that everybody could see. But this is what is actually happening. And I want to play this. Listen to this.
Bad things will happen. People will seek to do bad things. The question is what you do.
Let's listen together.
On the question of the other issue dealing with the Dutch government, I think we've been clear. They have sent what amounts to, I can confirm now, it's an extradition request for an individual that they refer to as just Leiderkas, who they believe is in Sierra Leone. We have been very consistent as a government that we will A, follow the law, B, we set up an investigation. It was an open source investigation. We've come back to the public and said in our investigation the identity of the individual that was in that picture, what we have on our records is a guy named Omar Sharif. And so one big part of the conversation was to identify, to make sure that indeed this is the same person that we're talking about. That's one. And two,
is it the same person?
This is now part of the investigation. I don't have an update on that particular fact. What the IG mentioned was that they have not yet been able to interrogate this individual, and that as known addresses for this individual that they went to, they were not able to locate the person. But they have also called on the public. If you have information, this is a small country. If you have information,
does it mean he's nowhere to be found?
So if people have information, they can bring that to the police, and the police will act on that. But as to the fact of the extradition request from the government of Sierra Leone, to the government of Sierra Leone from the Dutch government of the Netherlands, the government will follow the law. You're a lawyer yourself. We have laws here on extradition. They date back.
This year, we opened 2 new restaurants while running, how many?
I think. Has very specific provisions on what needs to happen. The AG is reviewing that. As I've said, the AG is a man of integrity. He's a man of international repute. He's going to follow the law. He's going to review that. He's going to act in accordance with what is in the best interest of our country and what is consistent with the laws of our country. What seemed to have happened in this case with the Netherlands government, and we've been very vocal about that, is they chose to do all this first on social media and on the media before engaging with us, because they know that just like, we will be, even if the allegations are so huge, you cannot just write to another government or go to the media and say somebody's in another country and then we wake up one morning and arrest everybody that looks like that person. We will follow the steps and the law. And what we invited them to do from day one was, in our first press release, we invited them to come to us. It took them over 2 weeks before they even contacted us officially. And even when they did, they told us they're coming for one meeting. They did not, and then they called the ambassadors in 2 capitals and said, "Oh, can we come see you?" And they rushed there. They did it without informing. Our AG was sitting there waiting for them. Their conduct here has not been consistent with what we expect of.
Are you aggrieved with regards to that?
We're not aggrieved. We're just disappointed in their.
In other words, the Dutch government should have kept this osh quietly away from the people of Sierra Leone, because this is how these guys have operated, basically. So this is what I really wanted to talk about, because I know Sierra Leoneans, for us, and it's about what's next, what's next, what's next. We never go back to reflect, and we see what is currently actually happening, even with the fact that the opposition is boycotting right now Parliament, Council, and all of that. Instead of the SLPP coming to terms, with the SLPP illegal government, coming to terms with the fact that, they're dealing with human beings, opposition voices that, one of the biggest political parties in Sierra Leone. No, they don't see it that way. The reason being because they've been getting away with everything they've done for the past 7 years, unconstitutionally violating the rights of citizens in that nation. They've gotten away with it because the opposition had no spine. So it's the same thing, it's the same pattern, and that continues. So that's why I want to call your attention, Sierra Leoneans, and remind you, just refresh your memory. Because lately, if you guys follow what is actually happening, you've seen that there are lots of, videos surfacing across Freetown of dead bodies across the streets. And I beg the question, I ask myself, I think this was the one that was reported by, I think, Truth Media or something like that. Yes, so a dead body abandoned opposite Freetown. So let's take a listen to this real quick, and then I'll give you guys why I'm talking about this. Because some of these dead bodies, it used to be drug addicts, and you can see they have sores, and, they die slowly, right? But but lately we've seen just healthy human beings just showing up dead. And my suspicion is when you have a narco state, where you have a state that's the drugs system has infiltrated the state, you're going to have a lot of these wars and gang battles, a fight for turf, who's controlling what and stuff like that. Or simply, drug trade, people are holding somebody else's money. You didn't give me my money, I sent you out on a mission, and you didn't come back with the money and you get killed. So again, it's my suspicion. But of course, we know the police in Sierra Leone would not investigate and come out, with the reality of what is actually happening until probably some serious investigative journalists would maybe substantiate this claim that I'm making. But it's my suspicion that some of these dead bodies probably has to do with the drug war in Sierra Leone. But let's listen to this real quick. See, what you're seeing there is a dead body in the distance. People are passing by. That is a dead body. See that? People are passing by. But that is a dead body for you. That is what is actually happening, and that is why I'm playing back that video to remind you guys about the fact that where is Bolle Jos Mar, aka Omar Sharif? Where is he? He's still in Sierra Leone. We all know. We all know that he's dating Agnes Bio. We all know that they probably have a child together because recently Agnes Bio came to the US and gave birth. So he's the son-in-law of Julius Bio. So when you see all of these things happening, I know I'm convinced within me with all of these, a lot of these dead bodies, showing up across the streets, which was reported by Truth Media, Lamranaba, reported also by AYV. You can begin to understand that this is a sad reality of what is actually happening. So this is AYV shared. They didn't play the video, I guess, but they shared what, from a post from, I think, the mayor. Freetown City Council stops collecting abandoned corpse, March 16th. I can put this on the screen so you guys can see what I'm talking about here. Let's do this. Okay. Let me do this for you guys. March 16th, this was reported. Facebook fisherman, let me cast my net on this. In my village, there are matters people can argue about for years. Land disputes can this and that, all that stuff. But that's a dead body right there, as you can see right here. That is a dead body. That is the reality of what is actually happening. Guys, give me 1 second. I'll be right back. So that is what is actually happening, guys. It's a shame, it's a travesty, but that's Sierra Leone for us, and that's the reality of what we're dealing with. And that is why I really want to share that with you guys so you can see that. But again, it begs the question, right? Where is Bolle Jos? What is actually happening? So when I listen to this minister here, it tells me exactly what we need to know and what is actually happening. And that is why I want to call your attention so you guys can see exactly what is actually going on. And so we could, as Sierra Leoneans, understand that they are distracting us with a lot of stuff going on. And again, things are going to happen, new updates every now and again, but we have to ask questions. It's just like a video that I posted and I shared the other day on my page, right? But let's take a listen to this here, because I know this is a conversation that has been going on, and I want to share with you guys. But this is the reality of what we're dealing with. Where is Bolle Jos? These are the questions we are asking. Sierra Leoneans, I know everybody has moved on. People are going on with their lives. Nobody's I wouldn't say nobody, because I know people think about it. But the fact is, I just want them to understand that there's folks like myself, and there are millions of Sierra Leoneans that think the same way. And we will not forget some of these issues that are actually happening in Sierra Leone. We'll continue to think about them. But let's listen to this lady from APC talking about the protest that I'm talking about, and see what information we could pull from them.
Audience was given to us as a party, except something last night. His Excellency don't call the leader. Except last night he don't call. But as far as what he don't, I so. I know you say he don't call. I know you say he don't call for the APC for me, then can sit down at table. And you know what's in painful, Khadija? APC boycotts the approval of Edmond Alpha. Edmond Alpha come out na parliament, dance. Any Sierra Leonean in the right thinking, we get shame. They go say, wait a minute. The opposition, they aggrieve. Why I forgo dance? That means they say whether you like it or not, they don't approve me. When I can't do anything, I know you will do bugger. You come on a parliament. Finally, thing don't be. Are you in the right sense of mind, for heaven's sake? You will come up for approval where the opposition not take part by your approval. You know, go sit down at your office and think, say, wait a minute, there's a problem. Let me call the opposition to a meeting where you don't dance by the opposition. And His Excellency, the President, also say, APC boycott. You should not be in a haste to swear that mandate in. If you don't call the opposition, someone APC in a state out. What happened? Call Payansane, the executive, the leadership of parliament. What happened? Mona go sit down and talk. But you dey in a haste, like whatever una want, this I don't pick am, when I want it or not, we go take am. When APC don't ready for say no, we say no go take am. We say we know they take am. Until the moral guarantors and them in country, they come sit down, they say make we go sit down at table because we say. So we said don't call them back, don't tell them, say we have been called with at table. But this one thing will cause this problem. We don't see and they come back. We know they take them. So the position where APC take will stand by it until the party decide otherwise. But we're going to protest. We will protest. When we protest, then we can part we.
Una don't call protest them. Una supporter lost in life, white boy. Una don't call protest them. Another supporter, Metron Mawa, lost in life now on a party office. And now una they call another protest, bringing out una supporters them. What if it turn to similar one day? Most of the people then they lost their life, honorable.
Metro incident not to be in protests in a place in Seoul, and that of white boy evangelist Samson, rest in peace. Metro we've been there na party office where they celebrate winning, where they go open fire in Paris. Sad state of affairs. Instead we party office, they want go kill we all because we did it, they jubilate. You know, Khadija, President Bio was not president of ECOWAS when all this thing happened. Today, President Bio is the chairman of ECOWAS. One life lost from protest. It will affect President Bio. President Bio is chairman of ECOWAS. We're not the president of Sierra Leone, he's not the chairman. Now in the chair, all the heads of states in Africa. Mind you, where all this be happen, head of states then come. Tinubu was the president of ECOWAS at that time. Now President Bio has a moral responsibility for ensuring no life lost.
Are we ready for own up to that statement where they make this money?
You know, it's sad. By the way, I don't know who this lady is, and I've not even really taken the time to know who she is. I feel like she's just really mouthing off. You know, I don't know if she was a member of parliament for the APC, if she was there in the past 5 years, because I've never seen or heard this person. So I don't know. Maybe she is new. Maybe she's a parliamentarian. Maybe she's not. Maybe she's just an executive member in the APC party. I don't know nothing about this lady. And I don't even know her name. And I really don't care to know, but I know she's speaking on behalf of the APC party. And the reason why I really don't care to know, because you all know for the past 5-7 years, I mean, these people have failed democracy, basically, collectively as a political party. So it would be very, very pathetic and sad for me to even find out that this lady was in parliament in the past 2018 to 2023 before the elections. If she was in that parliament, like I said, I don't really know, but I know she's speaking for APC and she's sitting at the Liberty TV platform, you know. So I was like, okay, at least I could just listen to her, because for me all of this sounds like it's just joke. Everything they're saying, I see no seriousness in there, and I don't think it's going to go anywhere. Like I said, I don't think they're going to protest. They've disappointed Sierra Leone so much. Like for me, I believe in Sierra Leone now. The only thing that's going to save Sierra Leone would be a massive revolution of epic proportion. I don't believe democracy is not working anymore. You can see it unfold in front of our eyes. You know, protest has become, it's like a taboo thing now. It's like a crime to protest. It becomes this very big deal if people even ask to protest, but it's in our constitution. So people like myself, we've lost faith in the system. And like millions of Sierra Leoneans, we've lost faith in the system. And when people lose faith in their system, that is what it sounds like. That is what it looks like. And I know when I speak, I'm speaking for, you know, millions of Sierra Leoneans on how they feel about democracy. They're looking at all of this and say it's just like it's a shit show, basically, you know, because these people have taken the people of Sierra Leone for granted. And again, like I said, I'm not even talking about this because I want to, you know, I'm only speaking, you know, don't take my word for it, but because like I said, again, protest in Sierra Leone, we've seen for the past 7 years how, but if I'll just say the 5 years, 2018 to 2023, we saw the drive, the passion, the determination, the zeal, you know, that Sierra Leoneans had to protect their democracy. But this APC party failed them woefully. And the people were let down. The people were left to themselves, and they suffered. It's just sad because Sierra Leone people know they talk. You know, victims, family members don't talk. You know, a lot of times they are afraid to share their experiences and what they've been through. They are only hoping and praying that a government would come that would create that opportunity for them to air out their traumatic experiences that they had. during the reign, of Julius Maada Bio 2018 to 2023. I'm not even going to go 2024, 2025. I'm talking about 2018 to 2023 alone. The amount of human rights abuses that occurred in that country, the amount of killings and of citizens that tried to protest. And we have countless evidences, of people standing up to protest, and they call them inciters, but we know that for sure that this same SLPP government, these were the guys, back in the day that were massively protesting, across, the world, calling an Eskroma thief, we saw it, we know it. And we have always, believed that it is their right to protest anyways. So it's not like it should be, criminalized to protest. But they did protest. They were free to come to Sierra Leone. Whilst they were protesting these protests, they were never arrested at the airport. We've seen countless, example of, these guys, arresting people to the point where the chief minister at the time made it very clear, that that's why they have a policy of arresting people, at the airport. We've seen all of that. We know that fact. And we have those evidences, we have those videos, and we'll continue to hold on to those until one day, we will be able to take the action that we can take, to bring justice to the people of that nation. But that is the reality, and that is the truth of what has happened. So now that the APC is calling and saying that they're going to protest, my fear is that, yes, them as leaders may be protected, but what's going to happen to the people that would believe and trust that the APC would protect them? You would say, well, Ibrahim, most of the other protests, APC did not call them. But again, that's how they feel, the people. Because even when the people were rallying together as citizens, because you don't have to belong to a political party to protest. However, the state should protect you. And we saw that was not the case. And the people were left to themselves. And the APC treated the people with nonchalance because they believed that, because APC did not organize this protest, even if the rights of these people are violated, we will not protect these people. That was the belief that they had. And so we saw how they treated the people. Folks were locked up. I mean, in some instances, like the women that protested July 4th with Miss Femi Cledescole, we saw some of the APC leaders show up. But collectively, as a political party, they treated the people very badly. And so that is why the people would have no confidence in believing that, these people, APC party will protect them. However, I'm not going to come here and say, join in the call to say, don't protest. No. A protest is in the Constitution, is protected. And I don't see why it should be criminalized, right? So it's very important for us to point out these facts. And I'm going to play this video for you guys so you can see when the SLPP were protesting, in the diaspora. And and this guy right here, by the way, is the current SLPP chairman, Batilo Songa. This is them. They were in I think it was the United Nations or so, when an Eskroma was coming for the UN General Assembly. This was the SLPP protesting. Yeah. And this guy right here is Abdul Fatoma of Chadi, as you can see here. That's him in the center. Abdul Fatoma of Chadi. And I can guarantee you a lot of these people are now in positions of power. If I hope you know Chadi, the organization. These were the civil society activists. You can see how active he was back then. But since 2018 to 2023, you would see him come up with reports about the soldiers raping one another and the Parebaro killings, the report that came out, nothing that amounts to anything. But these are the people when they were protesting back in Yeah, this guy, I don't know who he is, but somebody would know him, But this is the reality of what we've been dealing with, guys, So I'm bringing all of these out so you guys can understand how far we've come. You can say whatever you want to say, but former President Anes Bai Koroma, I mean, even though he has messed up because he's the one who gave us Julius Mar because of his kindness, which is why he's in exile today, because there was no way Julius Mar should have, been allowed, to participate in a democracy after the killings and assassinations of Bambe Kamara and all these other people, the betrayal, of Strasser, the overthrow, the fact that he, made sure that, our people's hands were cut off because they wanted to vote when he said peace before elections. So all of those are issues that, we are painfully aware of, and we want to make sure that these guys understand that we know exactly, what we're talking about. And it's as sad as it is, and as Nkrumah during his presidency, there were no, arrests of, opposition, with the exception of Lai Lawrence Lima, when, Lai Lawrence Lima, of course, forced his way into SLBC, and therefore, the law enforcement had to take, control. And we saw how Prince Adin actually decided to organize a protest by the SLPP. And this is another video of Anes Nkrumah fostering peace in that country, right? I give him credit for that, but he messed up.
So if you come into governance through tribalism, through faith, how you rule the country? Every member of this Republic of Sierra Leone is important, and you need them. You therefore stretch out. You therefore make sure, say, the people of Falaba are happy. The people of Bond are happy. The people of Moyamba, Pujeong, Kambia, Kotloko, Kailong, all sides. So come and try to gain power by dividing the people. You gain power by dividing the people, we're able to sustain and rule the country peacefully. So that is why this issue, we are bringing an issue of also a great concern to we, and as I say, we will address them, we will take the next steps, we will address the nation. I will call the political party leaders or make them come, so that we will address them as well. So that we can say it is about the future of the country, not to individuals. It's not even a political party. The country big past APC, the country big past SNU, the big past NGC, the big past CPC, the big past all of them put together. And why you bring tribalism now? We have the mayors on the other side, Girankes, the Romanes, the all sides is mixed up. If you listen to obituary, they will call all one of the country. One person died, you will see how connected we are. You travel now, you go, people them, they move all over the country, especially the market women. Then they move all over. So anything we get for do with tribalism, it will affect everybody, directly or indirectly. So we all get a responsibility, and I assure them that after the Security Council meeting, we will take the appropriate steps. But this is what happened is unacceptable. We all condemn them, and whether it is APC or SLPP or any party, the people of this country don't deserve that.
All right.
Therefore,
You know, so there's former President Nkrumah, right? But like I said again, now because of this in kindness is why we have Julius Mar today, but it should not have allowed Julius Mar to ever get close to the reins of power. It should have done that for the sake of people like Bambe Kamara and family them, Kula Samba them, Yaya Kanu them. All of these people that Julius Mar and the NPRC killed, extrajudicially killed and assassinated them, right? Put acid in them body them, throw away them. I mean, and Nkrumah knows the history, and they should not have allowed that to happen. You know, that is the sad reality. You know, so when we see stuff like that, it saddens me. And again, you guys all remember, you know, as I was saying about the fact that, you know, Prince Adin, you know, organized that protest. When Lyle Lawrence Tima misbehaved, right? And he was arrested. The SLPP came out, you know, massively to protest. And they even, you know, called for the sacking of, you know, the IG at the time. Prince Adin did that. You know, which is, again, it's their right. Nobody's going to question that. You can demand in a democracy. It is the same thing now. The APC and Sierra Leoneans are saying, hey, listen, if we decided to say we're going to go into a tripartite agreement, you know, and this is what we agreed on, that these commissioners, all 5 of them that participated in the last elections, we don't want them. You all agreed and signed and say, yes, they should go. But you've decided to keep those, you know, and then now you want to force them back on, you know, the people. So we've seen again, like that's why I keep telling you guys that Sierra Leone is a failed state, right? And when the state has failed, this is what you see. These are the signs, you know, of a failed state. There is no cohesiveness anymore. You have a dictatorship and an autocracy. I don't tell you that Sierra Leone is a dictatorship. It's a one-party state system at this point. In the minds of the SLPP, just like that Deputy Minister of Information, when it tells us that if it's for him, APC should die. They mean stuff like that, you know. They want to hold on to power. But of course, I know there are saints out there, there are patriots out there that are going to stand up and defend Sierra Leone's democracy and bring it back, you know. We all believe that's going to happen, you know. Some of us are talking, but, you know, some people take action. For me, you know, they say I'm up the stick and I keep, you know, crying fire. I should come down. But I'm like, no. I mean, you know, I'm going to stay up the stick and just talk because at least that might help to get through to you guys. I'd rather talk than take up arms against the state. But some people don't talk. You don't even hear them. You would not see them. They'll take up arms against the state. And, you know, we'll see who wins on that when that time comes, right? But this was Prince Adin
The police officers at the CID,
you know,
allowed only 4 party
Lawrence
executive members into the building. Journalists were not given access into the building at the time of obtaining statements from Mr. Lima. While speaking, the chairman and leader of the party, Dr. Prince Hardin, called for the immediate resignation of the Inspector General of Police, Francis Munu, for referring to members of the SLPP as idlers and as such cannot provide security for the electoral period, and maintained that he is disappointed at him for making such uncalled for remarks. The incident, he however maintained, has made them more robust and resilient in their campaign to winning the March 2018 general elections.
To argue, with all due respect, his statements are not reflective of voting would expect of an IG to be able to conduct this election, in the sense that policing this election. That statement that we will not get open and useless person, I think for retractor, and I'm calling for his resignation, and we are going to move for his resignation, because a very sensitive question it is. Not only security of our people, but the security of this nation. We don't come far too far for a senior police, the most senior police officer, for call the main opposition party that we are idlers. I know we use that word panel, because I'm more responsive, I'm more respected, and I'm more learned than him, with all due respect to him. For him to use that word, we take great exception to that. And we are going to write to all the international people and even the government that he needs to be removed. He don't show clear partiality, and he cannot handle.
At 7:15 press time, Lima was still on
So that was, let me let you
police
listen.
custody.
Lima
Supporters
was still in
displayed
police custody.
placards venting their anger and frustration while they continue to wait to know the fate of Lima.
All right. So, that is the reality, right? During the days of President Nkrumah, of course, the SLPP, protested, and it was just, the facts. That's what it should be. If one thing that everybody knows about former President Nkrumah was the fact that, he had no political prisoners or nothing like that, right? And it was clearly manifested, and everybody saw that. He allowed, these civil society activists, to do their jobs, and nobody was harassed. Francis Bankai, you all know, made the famous video, where he talked about, what other societies have forgotten long about, and we are still struggling with those things, So those are all some of the reality, that we had to deal with. But that was democracy, and that is the real democracy in itself, And former President Nkrumah made it very clear in this video that you guys can see the way he governed, right? No political prisoners throughout his whole term.
In 5 years, no political prisoner.
Yeah.
Even the opposition. We don't get a situation wherein we imprison any journalist. And we get more newspapers now. We get more radio stations now. We get more talk all over the place. Talk we relevant and talk we irrelevant. Talk we annoying and talk we disrespectful. Even when it is disrespectful, we the accommodator. Because we want to make we grow. That is the sacrifice we governance get for make in developing democracy. So in all of this, we don't attract a lot of attention. International recognition, and they come and they call we at the White House. As country, we don't improve on governance and other things. Then they give we awards here and there, and they recognize we everywhere. So, as a government, we did move on. As a president, I believe, we did try for we stick to the promise we did make. We did try for address the issues of the country.
Right. So of course that's former President Nkrumah. Again, like I said, he's a disappointment to a lot of us because he's the very reason why we have Julius Maada built today. Because the former President Nkrumah just abide by the laws of the land. It's simple. This man was part of a clique, the NPRC gang that came to Sierra Leone, and they killed people extrajudiciarily. And it's not because the family members of Bambe Kamara, as an example, then go to an Eskoroma, they pay the credit a visit, and go beg him, say, but yeah, this man, when I kill with Papa, I kill other people. This man should be prosecuted. But, former President Nkrumah was like, for the sake of peace. No, you don't do that. We don't do for the sake of peace. When people commit crimes, they should pay. That is the only way you can have sanity in a nation. If Julius Mar was not in the picture today, there is no way we would have what you're seeing currently across the country, with the amount of, deaths that we've seen, protesters getting killed, just because they protested. We saw the women, that protested July. All of these women were manhandled, by the Julius Mar regime. We saw how, Miss Femi Cletus Cole was arrested, by these police just because, they wanted to, protest, come out and exercise their rights. These were some of the women back then, coming out to, protest.
Friend, my people, let's call a spade a spade.
Actually, this one,
I just want for thank God for this day, for where we don't make accomplish. Right now, as I talk so, I don't Central Police Station, where they hold some of the women. The women, and they right now, when at the 22, where they don't hold. Easy, dear, the woman, they will come out for them, we able for freedom because they say, now higher from above, and then they can go by them by road. But right now, as I talk so, as the national women's leader for the PRN, and then I hear where they hold me woman them, and then with them follow we see the way forward. So if I get this message, I want to know say woman and they right now at Central Police Station they suffer.
So this was, this is Julius Mar. This is what they did to women. Look at the experience of this lady as well. For protesting, simple protest, which is a democratic right. See where somebody knock him at the back of his neck. Because you cannot even make an excuse here because he used abusive language. It's still freedom of speech. So that does not give you the rights to use force for attack him in any way, shape, or form. Because you go there, nobody supports abusive language. We don't support abusive language. But if some people, because of lack of vocabulary and due to the level of education of the country, people cannot come up with words. People cannot come up with the vocabulary that they need to express themselves, when they are really pissed off. So a lot of times what the result to is abusive language. Because that's what happens when leaders for centuries, don't make sure, say, the people are not educated enough. And that's what happens. So that's how a lot of our people express themselves, through using, very abusive languages because of lack of vocabulary and lack of education overall. So watch this. You see, she was slapped violently. This was all July 4th when the women came out of protest. Why? It shouldn't happen that way. It should not happen. Right? So these are the things that, like myself, we keep saying. And we keep talking about, because at the end of the day, the fact of the matter is we have a responsibility to protect these people. No, so you guys will remember the experience of this woman as well. And I want to show you guys the dates. You see, July 8th, 2022. All right? Just so you guys see the date. Listen to how the police officers are treating citizens in that nation. Imagine this is on camera. Imagine what they do to people when there are no cameras. Listen to how to talk to this woman. You are ugly. You are war. You this. Look what you dirty under. Just listen. There is no respect for citizens in that nation by a lot of the police officers. Because I'm not going to paint every one of them with a bad brush. But if you're in the police force in Sierra Leone, I don't even know why you guys are in the police. I don't even know why you guys are in the military. You can be better off doing something else, But this is what happened to our women in Sierra Leone under Julius Mar. That is why you guys see Julius Mar running away, because, of course, the APC is calling for a protest, and Julius Mar does not want to be there. And what you're seeing here goes back to my message that I started off with. This is Bolle Jos. If you guys remember when Bolle Jos had that party, with when he invited Era Star or Tiwa Savage. I think they said, according to reports, this was like I think it was Kamarimba who reported that it was an engagement. I think this was when Bolle Jos and Agnes Bio got engaged. So, but yeah, this is that video, and I want you guys to see this real quick. Let me put it on a bigger screen here. But this is Bolle Jos, and Julius Mar is actually running away. But watch this. So what I want to show you guys is Bolle Jos is in the corner there. I want to show you that. Let me stop the music so there's no copyright here. But that's Bolle Jos there in the corner. Right here, this guy in the suit, that's Bolle Jos. All right. That's Bolle Jos right there. Is right there in the corner. That's him. So you see, guys, this is Bolle Jos. This is Bolle Jos. That's Bolle Jos right there. That's Bolle Jos at that event. And that is what I wanted you guys to see. That is Bolle Jos right there. All right. And but that is the sad reality of what we're dealing with. And this is Bolle Jos. That's him in the suits, the tan suit. Whilst Era Star and Tiwa Savage were performing at their engagement. So Bolle Jos is this drug guy. So if you go back to the title of this live, I told you it's two things. Julius Mar running away from Sierra Leone because the APC is calling for a protest. And of course, Bolle Jos, as you can see, that's him right there. So these are the situations that we've been dealing with. And it is our responsibility as citizens, to call these people out for what they're doing. And I can also, show you guys this of Bolle Jos, so you guys can see what I'm saying again. This was the fight that Bolle Jos had at that nightclub. Let me do this. Let me do this again. Of course, that's Bolle Jos. Let me give sound to this. Listen to this. All right. So of course, again, that's Bolle Jos. So he is in Sierra Leone still. What's going on? So that's Bolle Jos right here. This is Bolle Jos. All right. And so he is still in Sierra Leone, and who is, talking about this, You know, whilst the distraction is going on, you know, all the distraction are ongoing, you know, we have to make sure that you guys understand that we are paying attention to what is actually happening. But that is Bolle Jos. That is why you see all those dead bodies across the streets of Freetown, because, you know, we're seeing those reports coming, you know, across the country from, we saw a report from Truth Media, you know, of a dead body in the streets. We saw that, as you can see right there, that's a dead body right there. You know, we don't know what's happening, and we're asking questions. You know, that is what is actually happening in the country, and that is why you have people like myself coming here to say, amidst all the brouhaha and all the confusion that is ongoing, I want you to remember that these are the real issues that we're dealing with. So when you hear this current illegal minister of information, you know, this was a couple of months ago, if not almost over a year now, when we were talking about Bolle Jos, like in February last year, 2025, when the extradition request was made. You know, but this is the reality. Listen to him. Listen to this guy.
Antics, it seems like they were playing mostly to try to, you know, play to the media. It feels like they're feeding a certain audience. We want to continue to treat them with respect, as we've done with them in the past, and we want to continue to follow the law and follow diplomatic protocol.
Let's say yours happens to be Umaru Sheriff, and it happens that is in Sierra Leone. What will be the next line of action of the Sierra Leone government?
We'll follow the law. The extradition law is clear. If indeed there's been an extradition request, first it has to meet a threshold. The threshold is simple. There should be criminality that's established, both in the country that is requesting, and what they are alleging has to also constitute crime in Sierra Leone. That's the first step. But that's a determination that the AG will make. He will review. So first they have a duty to submit the totality of the evidence that they used to convict this man to us.
Anyways, but that's what I want to share with you guys. So you guys could, you know, we have to wake these cases back up. But these are the realities that we're dealing with as a people. And it's a shame. But Julius Maada is running away. I just wanted to point that out to you guys so you guys can see exactly what I'm talking about. And Julius Maada is, if you go to his Twitter feed here, you know, you can see that he's running away, you know, attending this event. And like I told you, he's actually paying for this event. This event is not free. It's membership. As you can see here, you know, it's clear that last year alone, the membership fees to attend this event was $15,000. So for this year, I don't know. This man, you know, at a time where people are suffering the way they are suffering, these are the kinds of money he's spending that's bringing nothing back. They will say he's bringing back something, but nothing. You know, it's sad. Instead of him staying home, you know, to address the issues of Sierra Leoneans, it will tell you that these trips is the reason, you know, why he's helping the people. Because if you don't go out there and meet people, this man travels every month. There's no month that goes by that he doesn't travel. But again, it is because he has taken Sierra Leoneans for granted. He knows what he can get away with. These were the same guys that were crying foul during the days of APC. It's a sad state of affairs, guys. You know, but I really wanted to share that with you all so you guys can see exactly what it is. But Julius Maada has decided to run away because that's all he's doing, because, of course, the opposition has called for protest. And for all the protests, that is what he has actually done. You know, let me see. I know that was something Zainab Sharif said as well that I'm sure they took offense to, because Zainab Sharif said something along the line of... she did say something along that line of them, you know, Julius Maada was in the country when the protest was announced, but then disappeared. You know, the moment that he knew that the protest was going to happen, and he left right when the protest was going to happen. That was something Zainab Sharif said on that Liberty TV, I think. I was going to do a video on that. Probably I didn't save it. But so that is the reason. Those are some of the issues that they probably have with Zainab Sharif, who is currently locked up, in Sierra Leone, as you can see, Zainab Sharif.
Feeling a neck. With one broad smile on face, it goes to do again.
This was, I think, the second time. This was probably the second time she was denied bail.
Zainab Sharif Waka go inside Magistrates Court number 1 today. He wear pale long white dress, a tie red, and hang my feeling a neck. With one broad smile on face, he goes to do again before Magistrate Mustafa Braimaja on charges of incitement and abusive language. Zainab be done in a custody from where they arrest him inside February 20 and don't spend but 12 days in prison. Inside the courtroom, Lily tension be there as heated debates be there.
Has Zainab Sharif locked up unconstitutionally, right? For statements that do not warrant, an arrest. Listen to the statements from Lyle Lawrence Lima.
It is always the duty of the military to intervene to protect this constitution. And let me come, please. It is always the duty of the military to intervene to protect this constitution. And let me come, please.
And this is one of many comments these guys made during the days of former President Ernest Bai Koroma, and nothing came off of it, right? Because again, this is not an arrestable offense. What Lawrence Lima said there, it's not an arrestable offense at all. He's quoting the Constitution as a matter of fact. And he is correct with the quotes that he made on the Constitution. So there was no reason for anyone, to arrest Zainab Sharif. That's the reality. That is the truth, And so these are the things we want to point out, because when you listen to people like Francis Benkai Fala, of course, and I've played these videos proposing
I want
that
Parliament to pass a law that says that anybody who find guilty of stealing that kind of money at NRA, therefore impose death penalty on them. Society, they change things by how they feel about it, and how society feels about a crime is how they choose to punish it.
So what do you feel like we can do differently for let we become successful in the fight against corruption?
Let us just be more seriously. Maybe let us introduce death penalty for every corruption that has to deal with public resources.
This is all of this. When people make opinions, share their opinions, there's no reason for them to be arrested. Zainab Sharif, that's the same thing she did. She just proposed, but this is what happens when, and look at this other guy, this SLPP minister, deputy minister of, information. Same thing that he said. Listen to him here.
Me, as an SLPP, my individual interest is I even want APC to die.
Yeah.
I want only SLPP to exist.
So these are the first step in achieving that goal?
No. APC might want in forever day. But the general good is this country belongs to everybody.
So you as Deputy Information Minister, a politician, wants the APC for die.
You know what I say?
No, you say you want the APC for die.
Will say, I know even the existence of the opposition.
But this is the reality we're dealing with, guys. So this is the fact. And Zainab Sharif did not say anything out of context. What Zainab Sharif was proposing was a law. Same like these guys, to say that, let us propose a law. Let us propose a law that would give the death penalty, and not only you as a person who rigs election, but your whole family line should be killed. She is giving her opinion. She has a right to share her opinion, to propose a law as a citizen. That's what she did.
We back the talk about treason. If you touch the constitution and treason, we back anybody will go election. Once they say now you go election, we back not treason. You back them supposed to kill you. Actually, when you go election as salon, also you know what they for kill because I don't know enough. Because that's the man where they go to plastic. Then the people say they kill him. You rogue election, you cheat over 8 million people. They're not for just kill you. They for kill you, mama, you papa, you begin and you all bloodline for erase and for set a lesson. We will send a message. So nobody no go cheat and say 8 million people and proudly go free.
Thank you. Thank you. So what is wrong with that statement? Huh? What is wrong with that statement? When Lyle Lawrence Lima said this.
It is always the duty of the military to intervene to protect this constitution. And let me come, please.
People would say, oh, Lionel Slim has committed a crime. He's talking about a coup. He's inciting the military. But no, he's basically quoting the Constitution. So you see, this is the injustice that is ongoing in Sierra Leone. And that is why people like myself are here, taking the time. I just came from work. I'm tired. But at least I said, you know what? I have a little bit of, let me give an hour of my time. I'm not getting paid off of doing this. But we have to do what we have to do. And then you look at the comment section, you look at the people that are on social media, a lot of them that are against people like myself, check them. They're SLPP supporters, they are Mendes from the Southeast. Simple. SLPP supporters, Mendes from the Southeast. That's it, because they've tribalized everything in that country. They believe they are better than everybody else. That is the problem we have in that nation. They don't believe in democracy. They don't believe in people's rights to free speech. So you cannot even engage them, because when you try to engage them, all they see is party color. And when you travel outside of Sierra Leone, nobody asks you what tribe you are. They ask you, where are you from? You say, I'm from Sierra Leone. Or I'm from Guinea. I'm from Ghana. They don't ask you what tribe you are. That is probably later on in the conversation. But really, who cares? When my neighbor who is from Burkina Faso, I don't ask him what tribe he is from Burkina Faso. I know he's from Burkina Faso. That's all it is. So this is the mentality we want to sow into the minds of Sierra Leoneans, to understand that it's about nationality, right? Nationalism, right? Patriotism to the country. You should have your loyalty to the state and not to your political party, your section, your ethnicity, and all of that stuff. That's the only way we can move forward as a nation. All right, guys? I think it's been a long one. I want to appreciate all of you guys. And but before we go, I want to share this with you guys. All of you guys that are watching me right now, I want to share this with you all. Take a look at this. Because I told myself that I'm not going to make any more posts until this video of this old lady that I shared, until this video gets the views that I wanted to have. You guys remember this? I just put this video together. And I told you guys, I want everybody to share this. This video has to do with, matter of fact, let me not explain. I'm not going to explain this video. I want you to watch this video for yourself. But everybody, share this video until this video gets 1,000 shares and not post any more new videos. This live, what I do so today, is going to be this live. I'm going to record this, screen record this live later on, and then delete this live. But this is the last video until I get 1,000 shares on this video, because this is part of the civic education drive that I keep talking about. So go to my page. It's the most recent video, and I want you to watch it, okay? It's the most recent video that I posted. I want you all to go and share this. Share. This is about civic education. When you watch the video, you'll see exactly why I want everybody to share this, because I don't want social media to just be this thing. Yeah, it's the next one. It's the next one. Everybody's just moving fast. No, sometimes we have to settle down. Let's pay attention to real issues that are affecting our communities and our society. For they tell old people and say, we didn't get amnesia or dementia or hypoglycemia because they're low, then sugar low and all that stuff that they get, discombobulated. Quick, they don't tell us which they which. And they eat them picking. Old people are suffering in that country. So that is why this video, I want you guys, everybody, to share this video. If this video don't get 1,000 share on my page, there's no point in me just constantly posting. What's the point of just posting? Is it for the thrill of the excitement? No, some message get for the reach down to the people. And if I get 1,000 share on this, it means probably we've reached about 1 million Sierra Leoneans within their community. So then we'll see how they treat this mommy and how not for treat this mommy, because this is part of my civic education drive, okay? So everybody, go share this video, watch this video, share this video. It's the last video that you'll see until I get 1,000 shares on this page, all right? I'm asking you all kindly, let's spread the word. This is a video that has to do with our community. It has to do with our old people. Today, now that old person, tomorrow you say get for old. Is that the society you want for day when I go treat you like I didn't treat this mommy? It shouldn't happen that way, right? So go watch this video and share. Slow down, everybody, slow down. Let's slow down. There's so much stuff coming at us. So much stuff coming at us, but watch this video on my page on Facebook. It's on YouTube, but most on my Facebook page here. Why do I have thousands and thousands of followers? I cannot even have one video being shared 1,000 times. 1,000 shares on a video is all I'm asking for. Why have so much followers, and when you have critical messages that you want to pass, people not share? You know, the next one, the next thing. Everybody's just the next thing. No, let's slow down. This video, until it has 1,000 shares, I'm not going to be posting anything, because it's not for me. This is not excitement. For me, this is not about making money on social media. No, for me, this is about making sure the message gets down to everybody. You know, that is why I do this. So I need 1,000 shares on this video. It is the last video that you know, I did, you know, whilst you're watching this. All right. So thank you, everybody. I appreciate you guys. Go and share that video that I'm talking about. It's the video before this live. So once you exit this live, go into this video and share that video. I need 1,000 share on that video, because this video has to go into our communities. It has to reach our communities. Until it reaches our communities, I'm not really thrilled, you know, because it's not about having followers, but get the information there. It's not really reaching the people there. You know, the more you share, the more people get access to that information. Other people go share them, and then, you know, it goes and goes and goes. All right. So I appreciate you guys. All right. Bye-bye, everybody. I'll talk to you on the back. Well, Maada, don't run away. Oh, you see, because APC, the protest. Yeah, well, basically, we can make the assertion, right? Maada they run away because APC one protest. In one day that the country, they're afraid. All right. Bye-bye, everybody. All right. Not to me say, oh, the evidence is there. All right. On the looking Twitter page, it don't run can Miami. It pay over $15,000 if I'm not careful for like I attend this event. On the look at more, it don't go. It don't go. Anyways, bye-bye, everybody. And oh, by the way, thanks to my brother, Nicholas, and let me see here. My brother Nicholas and Henson. Let's start with Henson Emmanuel Tangbo. Good evening. I'm Henson Emmanuel Tangbo from Bo. Thank you for the good job. Thank you, my brother. I think we responded to you. You know, Nicholas Kaloko. Good evening. Watching live from the UK. Thank you, Kaloko. You know, and yeah, and all the other folks on, you know, I shared this link with you guys. If you want to follow this event where Maada is right now, this is the link to that event. So if you want to watch that event where Maada get for it tomorrow, this is the link. All right, and you go see the event live. But of course, like I said again, Maada is gonna be in Miami. You don't run away because APC the plan protest. You know, I did at the country. When I wait for until it come APC, when I get for plan a protest, where it come down, I go ahead with the protest. Yeah, now run away, don't run away. So because of course he's a coward. Dictators are cowards. Autocrats are cowards. They rely on in tribalistic boys to do the defending on his behalf. You know, go talk to him, I don't respect him, I don't care. You know, Salon why go to hell as long as he getting thousands and millions of dollars. We don't accumulate over the years. So you don't run away, we'll look at him. And then where is Bolle Jos, right? You guys have to find out about Bolle Jos in Sierra Leone and the Agnes Bio situation. So if you don't remember anything, I think you know, that is what I want to pretty much leave with you guys, so that you could make sure that you you know, go after these guys. All right, but Bolle Jos, you all know, you know, is in Sierra Leone and being housed by Agnes Bio. So when I all know what you had to talk about. I mean, these are some of the images, and I don't think I even need to really, you know, share as much. But you guys remember the image from church? That's Agnes Bio and Bolle Jos. You know, you guys have to make sure that, you know, we get down to it. More on Bolle Jos. This was a flyer that I did that I think, you know, you guys could see if I take it from the top. Agnes Bio. I was asking Agnes Bio, where is Bolle Jos? Where is Jos Leideckers? You know, aka Omar Sharif. This was done in February 17th, 2025. And of course, you know, there's Julius Maada Bio, Agnes Bio, Bolle Jos there. This was somebody we do some cut and paste, but we all know, say, if anything, you know, Bolle Jos was within that farm, you know, with Maada Bio. You guys remember all of that, right? This is all on my Twitter page, by the way. You guys remember how they harassed, remember this lady, Sophie Van Leeuwen, when she was harassed? in Sierra Leone. All of this is on my Twitter page. And recently too, you guys, let me share this with you before I go, by the way. I know this is going to be hard to read. It looks blurry in my eyes, so probably since I don't have my near reading glasses here, but fast forward to October 2023, when authorities in Antwerp intercepted a shipment of 7.7 tons of cocaine hidden between soybeans exported from Sierra Leone. So this case has been reactivated, but this is from, if you guys remember, Africa Confidential. You remember this report? Well, it's on my Twitter page, okay? So if you want for Siam, it's on my Twitter page, just so you guys know. Africa Confidential by Joseph Skridlik and the team, all right? You can see this. Just want to put it out there. But yeah, there's all of that information, is on this on my Twitter page. These are some of the publications that came. And you guys remember this, right? Let me make this bigger on the screen. Remember Bolle Jos right there, as you can see. You see this Bolle Jos right there. That's Bolle Jos at the farm with Julius Maada BO. And then, if you guys remember, these guys put out this press release. I think this press release was when they said the government of Sierra Leone is aware of recent media reports alleging the presence of an individual referred to as Julius Lyticus, apparently a convicted drug felon and one of Europe's most wanted individuals within Sierra Leone. The reports also claim that the said individual was seen in photographs taken during events attended by His Excellency President Julius Maada and his family. The government of Sierra Leone wishes to make the following, points unequivocally clear. With the Korean English and thinking there. I want to make the points unequivocally, clear. During the festive season, the president attended numerous family events and public gatherings, blah, 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 bullshit. But anyways, this was the press release that these guys came out with after the video surfaced of Bolle Jos at the farm, right? You guys remember that, yeah? That's Agnes BO there, and Bolle Jos and Julius Maada BO, all right? As you can see. So, yeah, these are the realities of what is actually happening. All of this is on my Twitter page, guys. All of this is on my Twitter page. The reports that came out, and, excuse me, everything. But anyways, okay, guys, have a nice evening. Thank you for joining me. I appreciate you guys, and I'll come back to you guys another day. But don't forget to share that video that I talked about on my Facebook page. I need 1,000 shares on that video. That is a video of civic education, improving our community, sensitizing and educating our people, because I'm tired of seeing those kinds of violence being perpetrated against old people in our community, okay? All right, bye-bye, everybody.